Welcome to the Ultimate Weight Loss Program webinar. I'm just going to share a little bit with you about our program, and hopefully you'll really get a good takeaway from this and then want to join. Okay, so let me just go ahead and share my screen and we'll get started. So I just want to talk to you about the Ultimate Weight Loss Program that Bare Nutrition and Herbs, BNH Wellness, is conducting. You can lose 10 to 30 or even 60 pounds and keep it off with ease using our Hack Your Metabolism 5-Bite UAO system. It's 5 bites to a better metabolism by understanding, activating, and optimizing. And I'm going to share with you all of the little tidbits that go into this whole program. So my name is NKJarvis, and you can call me Jay. I'm the founder of BNH Wellness, and I'm a registered dietitian and an herbalist, and I'm skilled in integrative and functional nutrition. We don't follow the standard spiel of calorie counting, deprivation. Instead, we focus on showing you how to develop a weight loss mindset with habits, along with how to hack your metabolism by illuminating some of the hidden sources of why you're gaining weight or why you're just not losing weight, even if you've been trying for a while. So let me just tell you a little bit about where we stand. So the food and pharmaceutical and insurance-based medical industry, they really want us to believe that we can't heal and reverse our chronic diseases and our issues from the inside out. And we can. Our bodies are really designed to heal, to be light and airy, to be really buoyant and effervescent. And this happens when we give our bodies the right tools, when we give our mind the right mindset, the right foods, the right nutrients, the right rest and activity. And essentially, we put the synergy of all these pieces together for you in our Ultimate Weight Loss Program. So why we're different, I just want to share a little bit. Our weight loss program is really transformational. So it's not just for the body, but it really starts in the mind and with habits. And we have a whole first module that really gets you into a weight loss mindset. It is the key to getting and then maintaining weight loss for the long term. So where our intentions go, the energy tends to flow. So just flipping the script on where we're thinking about weight, where we're thinking about some of our habits and activities makes a huge difference. And we've seen it really work in a lot of our patients. So we utilize the natural laws of biochemistry and physiology, and we use the planetary traditions that people have been using for years in order to optimize health and weight. So we get your metabolism back on track so it's permanently boosted. It's not a quick fix. It's not a, one-day thing. It's something you can utilize every day and cultivate every day. And we're going to show you how to do it so that it really becomes effortless and habitual. And when you become, or when you establish an effortless habitual practice, it's unlimited. And this is how we're able to get the weight loss results that you'll see in some of our clients. So why we are different. If you ask the food and pharmaceutical and insurance-based medical industry what we are doing, they will tell you that you can only cure disease with a medication. It's literally written down, you can only cure disease with medication. We all know that that is incorrect, and it's inherently incorrect because you can just feel it intuitively. Like, that doesn't even make sense. So prior to there being pharmaceutical medications, you're saying you couldn't cure or heal anything? That doesn't even make sense. Anyway, so we know it's not true. People are reversing chronic conditions. They're losing weight. They're feeling better every day. And they're using all of the principles that we've put together for you in this Ultimate Weight Loss Program. So let me share a little bit about who we are. We provide weight loss and nutrition solutions for the savvy individual who wants more than just kind of that fluffy, kind of typical nutrition and weight loss programming. So our folks, they like to know the why behind what they're doing. And this is what really helps to shift the mindset. So we really have put this program together to allow that to happen so that we end up with an effortless, habitual practice that gets ongoing weight loss that sticks. Now, you can lose 10 to 20 pounds in our 6-week program. We are famous for our 30-day detoxes, and I'll show you some of our testimonials with those. We have 14-day detoxes and 30-day detoxes that we've been doing for the last 3 years. And we've gotten really fantastic results out of those. We've expanded to utilize a lot of the components from the detox, but to add a little more oomph so that there's a really long-term weight loss. Even though a lot of our patients have gotten long-term weight loss, they've lost the weight and kept it off. I've checked back in with people 2 years later, they're still at their weight loss that they had on the 30-day detox. But this 6-week program really puts everything into play. So 10 to 20 pounds is going to be easy because we get that with our 14 and 30-day detoxes. But the 16-day really gets that full mindset development that I've been talking about so that we keep this ongoing, effortless, habitual weight loss because everything now is a habit and it's really easy to follow. So we show you how to lose weight between 10 and 20 pounds in 6 weeks through 7 known but inconsistently utilized metabolism boosting hacks. We do it without having confusion, without making you feel hungry or feeling like you have to deprive yourself of your favorite foods or even some of your fun social activities. So you'll still be able to do a lot of the things that you've already been doing and that you enjoy doing, but we'll show you how to do it in a way that really keeps your metabolism boosted and gets you all the weight loss results that you're looking for. So let me just share a little bit about me. I was really lucky. I grew up in a household that was considered up south, or the southernmost part of what some would say is the mid-Atlantic region of the United States. So right in Washington, D.C. All right, but my parents are from up south as well. So like the northernmost southern states, okay? So my parents grew up in Southern Virginia, so maybe that's not super up south. But anyway, so my paternal grandfather had a garden-sized football-sized field garden. And it was always filled with tons and tons and tons of produce. I mean, amazing greens and just every kind of item, vegetable, fruit that you can imagine. So he would send fresh collard greens and mustard greens home and, up to us all year round. And I remember that because I remember not washing the collard greens after I was told to do it. And my parents came home and the collard greens were still, they still had all the dirt on them. And I got in a lot of trouble. Anyway, but we did have all this wonderful fresh produce from my grandfather, from farmers markets, from just shopping and cooking locally and eating locally. That kind of was the standard when I was coming up. And I didn't really know that coming up that a lot of the traditions that we followed in our household were really some of the culinary traditions of the Virginia Piedmont region. Just a lot of the fresh produce, just making things from scratch, and some of the different items that were from the waterways, depending on which side. My dad is from the Chesapeake area. My mom is from the mountain area in like Lynchburg, Virginia. Long story short, just a lot of good quality food. I just remember growing up, my mom cooked a fresh from scratch meal pretty much every single day of the week, like every single day of the week, my entire life growing up. Didn't realize how lucky I was with that. So I was raised on real food, fresh food, and it just was a great way to come up, and you just don't even realize how much you're getting out of it until you're transformed into maybe not eating like that. So fast forward, one thing that I did have to do, even with that lifestyle, we had healthy foods, great items. I mean, it was all there from scratch. everything was essentially organic because, back in the 70s, 80s, most of the food that you got anyway was still pretty much organic, even if it wasn't labeled that way. So just to also let you know, I still had to be really careful. And part of it is, you can see this little cute little cat on the side there. I grew up having to be super conscious about what I ate because I was always in an allergenic state. I just never understood, why am I so sniffly? I can't breathe. I don't ever remember being able to breathe out of both nostrils at the same time growing up. And, until, I'm not even joking, until like college. And it was like, oh, you can actually breathe out of both nostrils simultaneously. That was big. But you don't know what you don't know. So my big issue was that I was super allergic to cats. I mean, I even to this day, if I get an allergy test, the cat, when they do the cat trigger for me, it's usually 3 times as big as when they do the histamine trigger. So that just tells you I'm like super, super allergic. And my allergy has gotten considerably better since I've gotten older and put a lot of the practices into play. But just letting you know, when I was 5, we moved to a house that the previous owners had cats everywhere. So as soon as I got in the house, couldn't breathe. And then my neighbors had 2 cats. And then my grandmother had, you guessed it, 2 cats. So it was like my whole life, I was just always in a perpetual inflammatory allergic state. So I had all this great, wonderful, healthy food, but I was in this inflammatory state. And you don't know what you don't know. And then back then, if you think about it, there were no over-the-counter antihistamines that you would go pick up. Like today, you can get a Claritin or Benadryl. I would have been so much better off. No, you just had to struggle through it, put ice on your eyes. And I mean, the allergies to trigger my asthma. I didn't even know I had asthma until later on. But long story short, all these issues, had to deal with those. Always had to be mindful about what I was eating, because of what I noticed is if I eat certain things and I do certain things, I don't have as much allergy, or it's not triggered as bad. Growing up, that's how I felt. I also used to have a lot of issues with constipation. I used to find that I would have to be really careful with what I ate, or I just noticed, oh my gosh, I'm just not as regular, or my stomach would be hurting. And just to let you know, my mom used to cook a lot of pasta-based dishes. Little did I know that I actually have somewhat of a sensitivity to pastas and some of the different types of gluten-based items. Didn't know all these things, but I was reacting to them. And what it did was it forced me, when I got to college, just really change what I was eating, because I started noticing, well, if I eat this, I feel so much better. If I pull this out, I feel so much better. If I add this, I feel so much better. And I found myself, I was actually a chemical engineering major in college, but I found myself always reading about nutrition and all these different things, because it was just a matter of necessity. I needed to do it to just kind of be able to sit upright, breathe, not be constipated, and kind of go on with life. So when I got to college, like, as I said, I was studying chemical engineering, but I ended up switching my major to nutrition my junior year. And it was all because I was reading and doing all these other things and reading about nutrition all the time. But when I changed my major, I was so disappointed with the experience that I had in studying, nutrition to become a registered dietitian. And what I found was that what I was learning in the classes, and at the time, this was like in the 90s when I was studying, I was learning like the antithesis of what I learned growing up with whole foods, real foods, cooking from scratch. It was just totally different from what I had learned from my parents and my grandparents and what I had experienced about healthy eating. And I was just really like depressed. And I remember sitting for the national CDR exam to become a registered dietitian. I had taken the exam. I was, ready to be hired, had my resume. I was working, and I literally was like, I don't know what I'm going to tell people, because some of the things that I was taught to tell people I didn't believe in. But you can't just go rogue and be like, I'm just going to tell people this. So it was just, it was several years of working in the field where I felt like I was butting heads and I just was like, I don't know what to do. And one of the things I always like to share is that it took me a long time to understand that the food industry is a money-making industry. It's really an industry and the profit-driven industry. So I always keep that in the back of my head, but it took me a long time to understand that versus food as just it was put on the planet for us to eat, to enjoy, and to use as a healing source. So um, what I also like to share is that the typical dietitian is trained and credentialed by a body that initially was set up as a trade organization to represent the food industry. So we also have to kind of keep that in mind. They've gone through a couple of iterations and kind of done some transformational things recently, but at the end of the day, there's still a food industry representative. So we, have to keep that in mind. So where things started to change for me, where I started to get these transformations was 2010, everything changed. So I already had this kind of traditional foundation, but I ended up, I'm not even joking, I was sitting at my desk at work. This was the one time where the Housewives series is extremely helpful. So I was super, super like just blah. I didn't feel like doing anything. I had already met with my patients. I needed to write my notes up, blah, 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 blah. But those days, you have stuff to do, but you're just like, I just can't push myself to do it. So I was sitting there, thinking, and I somehow I ended up going online and looking up the Housewives of New York. Don't ask me why. And Bethany Frankel came up and there was a little blurb about how she was a natural food chef. And I was like, what? And so I went and looked at where she went to school, and she went to school at the Natural Gourmet in New York. And then I was like, oh my God, okay, I didn't even know I could do that. Long story short, I started looking for something similar in the DC area because at the time I was like, I don't know. I had just had my first child and I was just like, I don't know if I can physically commute from DC to New York with a new child and a full-time job on a regular to go to Natural Gourmet. So I was looking for something locally. Lo and behold, I found Thai Sophia, which today you know as the Maryland University of Integrative Health. So 2010, I went to Thai Sophia and I enrolled in their herbal medicine program. And I can say from 2010 to it's 2022, literally every day I've been consuming integrative, functional, alternative health webinars, programs, books, videos, anything I can get my hands on, grand rounds, just talking with practitioners, meeting with people that are in the field doing all these amazing things. And it was just totally transformational. So it really, when I got there in 2010, it validated all that I had traditionally grown up and learned about, but it added all of the scientific evidence to support it. And then some. I was able to pull even more things. It was just amazing. So I'm just going to tell you about 3 things that I found super, super helpful within that whole track of transforming. I had read the book, The Omnivore's Dilemma, written by Michael Pollan. And that was really really eye-opening. I already knew about healthy food and healthy things like that, but I had never really thought about it in the context of the food industry of what I'm talking about, we've been talking about so far. So reading that let me know about the concepts of food versus food-like substances. That was huge, huge mind blower. Because prior to that, yeah, I was always eating healthy food, but you don't realize how many food-like substances you're putting into your body. And so when it was put into those terms, it was like, oh my gosh. So I'm going to share with you all those pieces, the food-like substances and why they really are some of the culprits that prevent effortless weight loss. Also, I remember reading some pivotal studies where the Aboriginals living in Australia or indigenous to Australia, there was these studies done where they had type 2 diabetes, they had obesity, they had high cholesterol, they had all these cardiometabolic issues. But what they did was they were able to totally reverse their conditions effortlessly. They lost weight and they just transformed their bodies and their metabolism just by going back into their traditional living environments and eating their traditional foods. And that was mind blowing because I said, you mean to tell, like, no medications, no meal plan, no write this down, no do, none of the stuff that you're taught to, oh, I got to do this, got to count calories, I got to, no. When you give the body what it was meant to consume, because it was put on the planet for the body to utilize, typically, guess what happens? The body uses it and it returns to harmony. And that is essentially all we're going to be doing within this ultimate weight loss program. So I'm going to show you how to do it so that, no, you don't have to go back and become kind of a Paleolithic person living off the ground, grasses and all those types of things. But I'm going to show you how to do it in modern times and how to make it work with when you have to drive past every fast food restaurant on your way to work, when you have to, go to happy hour because you want to have fun with friends. But I'm going to show you how to do it in a way that works for you and gets you that effortless weight loss. Another pivotal moment for me was when I actually had pneumonia one year. It was terrible. I was finishing my master's program and I was really super stressed. I had 2 children. I was working full time. Needless to say, I was stressed. I always do this, show this people this. This is the waterline and this is where my nose was. And I literally, all I could do was keep my nose just above the waterline to keep breathing. That is how stressed out I felt at the time. Needless to say, I ended up getting really, really sick, and stress can really kill you. I got really sick. I got pneumonia, had never had pneumonia before in my life. Had pneumonia. And I remember coming out of pneumonia, going to see these doctors that then said, oh, we think you have rheumatoid arthritis and you're developing autoimmune. Then they thought I had this cardiac issue. Oh my God, it was insane. So I went in for checkups and, no cardiac issues. But we did find out, and then they still were saying, oh, we think that you have rheumatoid arthritis. And I was just like, I refuse. I'm sorry. I'm not going down that road. I am not going to have this autoimmune condition. Nope. So it's really amazing how I had some leftover herbs that were going to be bad in a couple of months. Not bad, but just, getting to their shelf life. So I said, let me use them all up. So I combined them. And the combination ended up becoming what I use today as my 6 spice tea. And so that was the first iteration. It wasn't the same blend that I have now, but it was similar pieces. I have since made a better blend that tastes so delicious. But I used that, and what I noticed is the first day I drank it, I could breathe a little better. I had more energy, and I had the aches and pains that were in my neck and in the areas where I think they were telling me your rheumatoid arthritis, gone. Not completely gone, but just improved. Then I remember I was drinking it every day. And I remember walking to pick my kids up from school. And I used to, when I would go to pick them up from school, getting out of the car, I just remember feeling like I would drag myself up, up the driveway to go to the school to get let in and all that. And I remember my knees, creaking and, just having to step up on steps a certain kind of way so that my knee wouldn't hurt, consciously having to do these things. But I remember one day, probably after having had this tea for maybe a solid, maybe 2-3 weeks, I was drinking it every day. I realized when I was walking up, I was like, I actually don't feel like I'm dragging. I had energy to walk up the hill. I wasn't dragging. And then when I stepped up the steps, I didn't have to change the way that I was walking or stepping, and my knees were not creaking and they weren't hurting. And I was like, what? I mean, it was really kind of overnight. It just clicked on. And then I started noticing, I was like, I think it's this tea blend. Lo and behold, it was. So for 3 solid years, I drank that tea and I played around with the proportions and the numbers. And let me just tell you, I'm in the middle of the spring allergy season. I do not get allergies anymore. I don't have the asthma issues anymore. I don't have the energy issues I was having. And it is all because that tea inadvertently, didn't even know it at the time, was modulating my immune system and it was reprogramming it. And I'm going to show you how to do that to your own immune system within this model. Okay, that was a lot to take in, but this is essentially what we're going to be working on. So what I'm going to do is talk to you about all these 3 secrets that we're going to learn in this ultimate weight loss. So developing a program that works. My years of study and using these techniques has helped me, but it's also helped a lot of other people. So we have this 3-part system that I created. It's really simple. Secret number 1, you're going to understand. Secret number 2, you're going to fake. And secret number 3, you're going to optimize. It's that simple. Now, I'm going to go into what happens within these 3 steps. So what you're going to learn, it's all going to be given to you by a registered dietitian. And secret number 1, you're going to understand using our Understand ebook. You're going to learn how to master your mindset with our Mastering the Mindset Toolkit. You'll get that. You're going to get the Hack Your Metabolism tools. Also, Prepping for Weight Loss, Measuring Success Status Assessment Toolkit. So you'll have all of that in Understand ebook, and you'll learn all the steps so that you can really be successful. It's all about developing these effortless habits that is going to get us that weight loss that you're looking for. Secret number 2, we're going to go into the Activate book, so you'll get that. Here, you're going to recognize real food. What is real food? We're going to go into the ins and outs of that. We're going to go into our 7-step metabolic booster protocol. This is very key. This information is out there for all to have, but it is rarely utilized, and it's rarely utilized in succession together. The synergy of it is what gets the results. You're also going to get our buying food guide. We're going to go over our cooking guide, our eating guide, and then our activity toolkit. The 3rd secret is our optimized ebook. And within that, you're going to get a toolkit on traveling. So what to do when you're not at home. Also a guide on how to stick with your program when things get rough. Also how to be a social guide, sugar rush guide, which is really key. And then our weight loss optimizer toolkit to make sure that you get the results you want and that you're looking for and that you deserve. So what I want you to take a look at, secret number 1, you're going to understand. So this is the most important step. We don't want to move forward to step number 2 until we have all of this clarified. So in this weight loss, ultimate weight loss program, we're going to go over mastering the weight loss mindset toolkit. I spelled that wrong. It's toolkit. So I'm going to show you how to get a weight loss mindset and how to do it really easy. It's going to make 80% of the journey so much easier. So you're only really going to have to put in 20% effort. Think about that. All these years you've been putting in 100% effort, maybe not even getting all the results out of it that you want. Here, you're only going to have to put in 20% because 80% of the work is going to be just mastering that mindset. And we have tons of different tools that are going to allow you to do that. Next, you're going to be able to hack your metabolism. I'm going to illuminate the hidden roadblocks, weight loss, and stimulate your weight loss genes and proteins. So I'm going to show you how to do that, the important things that make that happen. We're going to look at that SERT gene, the GLP-1 agonist, what types of foods, what you need to do to really stimulate those weight loss genes and proteins so your body can just maximize itself. And then we're going to use our 7-step process where we're using biochemistry and the physiology that matter, that make all the difference in the world. So you combine that mastering the weight loss mindset with this metabolism hacking, you are on your way to super weight loss. Now, within this understanding ebook, we're also going to go over prepping for weight loss. This is really, really important. You're going to learn how to accurately measure success. We're going to learn why using only a scale method for measuring is a setup for disaster. And I'm going to show you how to do your measuring so that it really makes sense and it keeps you motivated. We're also going to have or go over the Measuring Success Status Assessment Toolkit. So you'll have all that and you'll be able to just get it done. Secret number 2, what you're going to be doing is working on really activating everything. So we have the mindset down. Now it's time to actually put everything in action. So you'll get all the guidance that you need for weight loss through this action step toolkit. So the first thing is recognizing real food. We're going to really understand that. You're going to get an activity toolkit. It's a fat burning workouts that are proven to really help reduce fat and really build muscle, which are going to be some key things. This is valued at $6.99. It's a lot of information. Also, our buying guide, you're going to get this. It's going to show anyone how to buy food quickly, easily, and cheaply using our foolproof bargain grocery system. And then you'll be able to save hundreds of dollars a month on foods and a lot of time, which is priceless. You're going to get a cooking guide so that you have some ready in 5-minute cooking options so you can eat healthy on the go really swiftly. And then we're going to have an eating guide that you'll have where you'll get some personalized lick your finger good meal plans that just set you up for really healthy eating. And it's going to make you not even want to so-called cheat. Cheating will no longer be the option because the things that you're eating are going to be so delicious and so comforting and so supportive of what you're doing that you're not even going to need to cheat. Okay. So all of these are included in the Activate ebook. Next, we're going to go into the Optimize ebook. So you have the mindset, you have the actions. Now what we want to do is really boost everything to make sure that you're really hitting all your goals. And so this will ensure that you are doing that. Number 1, you're going to get a traveling toolkit. So the ultimate tone up while you travel, an eating guide. So you'll have some workouts that you can do easily in a hotel room. You don't have to be in a gym. You don't have a lot of space. And then also different ways to eat so that you can make sure that you're staying on track when you're traveling. Also, the How to Be Social guide. We all want to still go to happy hour, enjoy friends and family. So make sure that you understand what to do in these situations. We also have the How to Stick With It guide is going to be within this optimized ebook. And this is for when you feel like you need a little more accountability or you're going to fall off, or maybe you feel like you've fallen off. What to do to get back on, keep that motivation, and just keep the ability to stay focused. And we have all the tools there to help you, guide you through all that. And then number 4, we have our Sugar Rush guide. This is so key. We want you to be able to have your cake, your wine, your cocktails, eat and drink without blowing your program. And so we're going to show you how to do that, how to think about it, how to categorize everything. You're not going to have to write things down and keep notes. It's just going to be effortlessly drilled into you, and it's going to be something that becomes a habit that's easy to follow. And then last but not least, we have our Weight Loss Optimizer. And this is the ultimate kit that ensures that your body is lean, mean, and a fat burning machine. So when you don't want to leave anything to chance, these are some key supplements, botanicals, nutraceuticals that you may want to use to either speed up your weight loss or just optimize it. You don't have to use it at all through this program, so you never have to use any supplements at all. But for some people, some really do like to maximize the time frame window or their ability to see results faster. And some of these optimizers do allow you to see that. So you'll have the option to look through and see if you want to use any of them. Now, our clients have gotten really good results. And this is not even with the full ultimate weight loss. This is just with components of it. and not even the full 6-week program. So Brenda Guniego got a 10-pound weight loss on our 30-day detox program. The detox is not even designed really for weight loss. It's really for detoxing. It's one of the physiological biochemical pieces that we do. And so this program, this ultimate weight loss program, utilizes some components of that and then some. So imagine you're getting 10 pounds in 30 days with only a fraction of what you're gonna get in the ultimate weight loss. The same thing, Ignacio Washington got a 12-pound weight loss in the 30-day detox. He actually did subsequently again in 2021 and lost another 16 pounds. So, but this is the one they did from 2020, and he did give us a testimonial. And Clinton Ray lost 7 pounds on the 14-day detox. So just in 14 days, 7-pound weight loss, really, really super. And Leslie Brown lost 16 pounds doing one of our programs as well. So we have tons and tons more people that have gotten really excellent results. And these are just a few we wanted you to see. So you can absolutely have the same type of results, if not better. I'm gonna stop sharing. For some reason, my computer has blacked out. So I just wanna make sure that you are aware of all of the pieces that we can utilize in this whole program, and all of the items that can help you be successful. I'm going to finish off by just sharing with you what you'll get overall. So in the 6-week Ultimate Weight Loss Masterclass, you will get 6 weeks of education and support. And you will get an Understand ebook, again, with the Mindset Toolkit, Hack Your Metabolism, 7-Step Process, Prepping for Weight Loss Measuring Success Toolkit. You'll get the Activation ebook, where you'll recognize real food, the buying guide, the cooking guide, the eating guide, the activity guide. And then the Optimized ebook with the Traveling Toolkit, How to Stick With It guide, and How to Be Social guide, Sugar Rush guide. Also our Weight Loss Optimizer, and our bonus, where you'll get a free one-on-one private metabolic nutrition assessment review, as well as a personalized recommendations. And that's for the first 10 people that sign up for our program. All of this is valued at $1,300, but we are offering this whole ultimate weight loss program for far less than that. We are offering this program for just $300. So you save $1,000 and you get all of these pieces. So be sure to sign up and be sure to be one of the first 10 so you can optimize and get a personalized plan. Thanks so much. I really hope to see you in this ultimate weight loss program. Take care. Bye.